Okay, it's going on now. So we are live on LinkedIn and YouTube and my dear Instagram. And it's a little bit of cuddling before. Okay, so yes, so we are. Hey, 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 hello everybody. Happy Thursday. I'm always excited as usual. I'm excited to be here. I'm Dr. Gloria and I have Dr. Neze with me. If it's your first time joining us, it's our virtual global book club, and I'm joining from Dubai, and Inez is joining in from
I'm
where you
joining in from North Carolina.
from North Carolina. Yes, from North Carolina. And this is week 4 or 5 of the book we're reading. It's called Start with Why.
Yep.
I like that we're twinning.
We're synchronized.
Yes, we are. We are. And so today, what we're going to do is just like we did last week, we're going to reflect last week and the previous weeks, we're going to reflect on some prompts that we have. And
Mhm.
just so we can talk about the books and about the book and what we've learned. Nizi, do you have anything you want to add before we dive in?
Yeah, I just want to say hello, everyone. If this is your first time, my name is Dr. Neza Wankwo. I'm really excited to be here with Gloria doing this book review of Start With Why. So thank you all for joining.
Yes. Farhan, I see you. I see you. And so the reading this week was not too, it wasn't too bulky. It was a little bit, it was about 3 chapters, 8, 9, 10. So it was
Yeah,
just
but
like,
still good stuff, though.
oh, for sure, for sure. But it
Yeah,
was not as bulky as last week. And
yeah.
then the coming week might be a little bit heavier.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have
Yeah.
questions, please put them in the comments. I'll look through and then I'll answer as much as I can.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. Nessa, how do you want us to go with the let's
The,
go with the
the guide.
yes, and then we'll
And
if we have
then
additional yes.
question. Yeah, that
Yes.
sounds good. Yeah, we should definitely do that. Um,
Okay.
I think usually we start by saying something that stood out to us
Mm-hmm.
while we were reading this section. So
Yes.
I'll start by saying um, a couple of things stood out, and we'll talk more about it in our conversation. But two things:
Yeah.
the celery stick example. So that was very enlightening and just helping to illuminate what is your why. So once you
Yeah.
know what your why is, your what and how aligns so that you're not distracted by other things that don't fit your why. So I really
Yes.
um, enjoyed reading that and trying to apply it in my own life. And then I have my toddler here. And
Is
then,
that your daughter? She's part of the
yes,
book club.
right. And then the second thing was the difference between why people and how to people. So I'll mute myself for a second just to
So
settle
you
her
can
here.
attend to her. Yes. So this is my take with that part you talked about, Neze, is the why does not always have to be something phenomenal. It doesn't always have to be this big thing that you know it's so it could just be that you want to make money. That could be your why, because it was initially when we started the book, it looks like your why had to be this sanctimonious thing. It had to be this idea that's bigger than you. Your why is your why. But I think there's a problem when people's why and their how and their what, there's no alignment. If your goal is to make money, that's your goal, that's your why, and let's the whole why align. If your why is to add a certain value, let that be your why. But it's when there's that mismatch, that's when there's a problem. Then you're no longer authentic.
Exactly. And you could probably apply it to almost anything, right? Let's say
Yes.
I'm on a wellness journey, right? So what would be the most helpful thing for me to do? Is it to eat a lot of junk food? And that's an easy one. So you probably don't want to eat junk food all the time, right? You can
Yeah.
probably have a little bit of it and it won't hurt your journey too much. But if that's
Yeah.
what you're eating every night, that's a bad idea. If
Yeah.
it's more, if it's like building your company, then maybe that's not as easy to differentiate, or like a clear cut, okay, what matches my what and how,
Mm-hmm.
and how does that relate to my why. Maybe it's not always that easy, right? But I think once you again have that clear definition of your why, your what and your how start to also align. And then if something doesn't align, I think you learn with experience. This is what works, this is what does not work. And let's
Yeah.
say even if you're trying something experimental, you always have that experience to guide you on your journey and help you be your authentic self, whether it's you as a
Correct.
person or as a brand, as a company, like you touched on authenticity. So I think
Yeah.
that definitely plays into that.
Right. And even though he talked about Apple, but Apple is just kind of like $1 billion company. They have so much resources to keep their vision aligned, and they have checks and balances. If it's just you starting out, you as an individual trying to find your why, it's
Yeah,
just you. There's only so much one person can do in just trying to be so
exactly.
aligned. But the only thing I can say is just to be true to yourself as much as you possibly can. And why I like this book is that now you know your why should be there. So we're not going blindly anymore, even if it's not
Yeah.
perfect, because perfection is an illusion. Even if it's
Mhm.
not perfect, you are on a journey where you have to keep realigning and keep streamlining and just keep getting better.
Exactly. Right. So I want to go back to that experience thing. So you learn by experience, right? So the more you do something, the more you become better at it. Not perfection necessarily, but
Correct.
kind of have a better idea of what works, what does not work, and
Mm-hmm.
why it
Yeah,
does or doesn't.
right.
Yeah. So
Yes.
should we delve into the questions?
Let's do that. Esther, I see you. So yes, so I
Welcome, everybody.
so the first question is, do you associate leadership more with title or influence, just like personally?
Whew. Oh man, that is a very it's a very good question. I think it can be I think it can be both, right?
Yeah.
Depending
Yeah.
on the context. Yeah, so it depends.
Yeah.
But I, I think more so title, that's like what you see first.
Yeah.
Um it's more, it stands out more.
Correct.
So I'll just leave it. I'll leave that short response and ask the question to you.
So for me, it's two-sided. Like I initially I'm drawn to the title because
Yeah,
this person is the CEO, you're drawn to that title. I don't know you as a person, right? And then that person also has power, and they can influence things in a certain way that can either benefit me or harm me or hurt me. So I am not ignorant of the power that goes with a title.
right.
At the same time, true leadership is that you can still lead people when you don't have that title. So the true leaders that have my respect is the people who I would still keep respecting even after they no longer have the title, or they never had the title but they could influence me, because at the end of the day leadership is influence. So if you can influence me without you having the title, then that's like, that's like true leadership. If I can go to you and I trust you, that's true leadership. But there's still titles, and I respect that.
It's a great answer. Um, yeah, I'm
So
trying to
the
see what the next question would be.
the
Yeah,
next
and if
question
you guys have any thoughts,
next
please put them in the comments so we can
Yes,
just.
please. Yes, please. If you have any questions, put them there. Then we can go over. Then the other is just like, it's kind of like, oh, what are you doing right now? And that's like, how you leading right now? Where it's not unofficially where you leading. That's something like that. I don't know,
Yeah,
because I work for myself,
yeah,
so I don't know.
yeah. The first thing I would think of is I'm leading in my home, right?
Oh,
So
that's a
I'm
good
leading
one.
as a mom, as a wife, as in different roles. I'm leading as a big sister.
Yeah,
For some of my friends, I'm also leading in areas of life where they're not yet. So they're asking
correct.
me questions about where I am. How is this experience like for you?
Right.
I'm also leading in the workplace, and I have a
Yeah.
few people that I mentor in public health.
Yeah.
So unofficially, I'm their mentor,
Yeah.
and just kind of talk about my experience in my career so far. And also, as someone who has gone through a PhD, they always have questions
Question.
about that. How did I survive?
Yeah.
I did survive. Yes. So in those areas, I would say that I am leading.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. And there might also be areas where I'm leading that I don't even know that I am.
Correct.
Like some people could see me or on LinkedIn or maybe at a store and say, "Wow, this person looks put together," for example. Or I might even do that and see someone who is like I'm thinking more about like what's it called, informal mentors. I don't
Yes.
know if that's what it's called, but people that you admire from afar, you may never
Correct.
have met them and you may never even meet them. Maybe they are people who existed a long time ago. So on the flip side of that, I also look to people like that to see how they live their lives, sometimes through books, right? So we can learn
Right.
about them through books. And yeah.
Yeah. For me, I don't have like I have, yeah, I have a formal title. I own my company that I'm building up right now. So I have people who work for me and all of that good stuff. But I don't think I'm consciously, and I do a lot of I there's a lot of leadership stuff that I do, but I don't think I am consciously taking stock of saying, okay, these people are under my influence. Yeah, I coach people, so that's different. That's like, hey, you need help. We're working on it's a mutual. We know what we're working towards. Maybe that's leadership. It is leadership to a certain
Yeah,
extent.
it is.
It is. But at the same time, I don't think I have taken stock. Then Zohair put a comment here. He said you have different constituents to lead, and he's so right. The house, the kids, the husband. He's talking to you, Neze, the colleagues. How do you optimize for all of this?
Yeah, that's a great question, and thank you for the comment question. So I feel like I kind of keep myself grounded in what matters to me. So and what I value, right? So I value being a great mom. So that could be like just making sure that I'm reading up on what are like healthy snacks to give kids or healthy lunches, for example. So I like to be better every day in my lane, so to speak, and become we touched on this a little bit last time, just becoming better versions of ourselves. I think sometimes we kind of get stuck on that best version of myself. I don't really like that because I think that it's something that you continue working
You keep
towards, and
evolving. Yeah.
exactly, keep evolving, keep getting better and better every day. Right. So I would say just kind of taking stock of what's going on with me, what's working, what's not working, knowing times where I need to kind of step away and fill up my cup, take a break, and then come back fully refreshed to be present for myself, but also other people. Like, and that like gets into different categories like setting boundaries, and seeing like what is important, and why do I value those relationships in my life. So, and then also knowing when I need to ask for help. So even though
Yeah.
I am, playing those roles and I'm seen as a leader in those aspects of my life, I also have a lot of people that I look up to and that I can just kind of give it a quick phone call and say, hey, can you talk to me about this? Right. So it's just kind of making sure that I know that my values are aligned and taking care of myself so that I can also be present for those other people in my life.
Yes. That's real life. You give real life answer, not like textbook answer. That's really good.
Thanks.
Let me go to the other question that we don't have on the guide. Sneha,
Okay.
I see you. Nima, I see you as well. So this question is, they talked about mission and vision statement. I've seen
Mhm.
both before, but never
Right.
really considered them as different entities. But now I'm like, okay, your mission is different from your from your vision. Yeah,
Yeah.
because the vision is like, okay, this is what it is. This is the big picture. And then the mission is, how do I go about that? Right?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
Exactly. Yeah, when I read that in the book, I was like, wow, this makes sense, right? I've always seen mission and vision. I'm like, okay, sure. I'd never really thought much about it until now. And I was like,
Yeah,
wow, that is interesting. And I started putting it into categories. So your what your vision, like why versus your mission, what and how. I think I said that correctly. So
yes,
yeah, just thinking about that. And I think like your vision is like I don't know if you asked me for the definition, but your vision is like in a perfect world or a perfect business or whatever it is that you're into, what would you like to see, right?
yeah,
And then your mission is how do you actually do that, right? So I thought it
correct.
was um it's very important to have both because you need both in an organization, right? So you
Yeah,
have something that is sort of like the way I think of it, like it's something that is ideal, and here's how we're working towards it. And sometimes even some organizations will have even like goals and objectives that break down even more so what they are looking forward to doing and how they're doing it. So it's very important. I think sometimes those things are boring, but if you're a good employee, right? For example, you are looking to align your work to the mission, vision, even like um, priorities of your organization.
right. Cool.
So, what do you think about mission and vision statements?
Yeah, yeah, I see it in I see it in two lights. First of all, I see it in the light of you multiple lights. The first light is you having a mission for your life, no, a vision for your life. So what's my mission? What's my vision? What's my why? And then you have that, and then you're like, what's my how, which is the mission. How do I go about that? And then that's one. I think that has to be, as individuals who are going to be out in the world doing different things. I think having clarity with your vision, and your vision, especially because your vision will affect it. That's what drives the mission. So just having that really clear, it's important, so that you align yourself with people, with institutions that share the same value system. So you're not like transporting yourself into a system that would not work for you because the vision does not really align with your vision for your life. And then the same for an organization, it should also be crystal clear. And it's something that, and just for even as an individual, as an organization, it's something that keep refining till it gets better. Because sometimes you think your vision might be clear, but how you try your mission may not really, the tactic you're trying to use in carrying out that vision may not really be clear. You may have to tweak it multiple times, fine tune it until it starts to work. And even when it starts to work, you can still keep tweaking it till it gets better and better. And that's as an organization. Then as an employee, just like you talked about, so first of all, you're an individual. Then when you get to an organization that you align with, then you also need to create more alignment paths, so there's no friction as much as possible. So that's how I see it.
I love that perspective. Very interesting. Um, so another thing that was discussed in this section was a why person and a how to type of person. So do you
Yes.
think someone can be both a why and a how type of person?
So he made it. Oh, so Zara is asking, how will leadership differ in the AI age? Will leading become easier or not? I think AI is a tool, and it's how you use it. So if you use it for efficiency, then you become a better leader. It's kind of like how they talk about money. Money doesn't make you a bad person, it doesn't make you a good person. It's whatever you are, that's what money is going to show more of who you are. The more money you have, then you can express yourself more. Same with AI. It's a tool. It's not, it's how you use that tool. It may make some people lose jobs, some people will have new jobs. So it's how it's used. That's my take on AI.
Yeah, that is a great question, and one that we will have to face because we are in the age of AI. Like you
Mm-hmm.
said, it's a tool that hopefully is making our lives easier, but we also have to be careful that it's not taking place of humans. But we can argue about this because some jobs will be taken over by AI. But as far as leadership, that is still something that I'm not, I'll be completely honest, I'm not really sure about that.
Yeah.
I would just see how it goes. But if you have any comments, or if you want to answer that question as well in the comments,
That would be
please let
great.
us know. Yeah. What is
Yes.
your take on that?
Yes.
Because
Yes.
it's like this new thing that we are just learning about. It's efficient, it's fast, it's um you know so let's hear your thoughts on it.
Yes. And so the question you were asking about being a why and a how person, I've never had to think of those of my duty or my job or an expression of my mission of my vision. I've never had to think of it as either I am a person with a vision or a person who carries out the mission. It was so interesting, and it was something that I started teasing out a little bit more, and I'm thinking, okay, back to, as an individual you need to have your why. So even if you are a how person, you still need to have your why, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, because you
this
still
is
need to,
it's
it becomes deep.
right, it's such an interesting question. And yeah, like you said, I've never really thought about myself as a why or how to person.
Yeah.
But something also stood out to me in that someone's like the why and how to person are somehow people that share values or beliefs, or someone, two people that just get it right. The example of people like going to high school together
Right.
or growing up together. So I started thinking, who is my how to person, right? Who is so close to me that I can team up with and be like, this is my why, help
Yeah,
me make it
with my
happen,
how.
right? So
Yeah.
I think, if it's my dream, right, I will be the why person. Like I can see it clearly, I have a vision, right?
Yeah.
And I will need someone who also gets it and we can get it done. But if it's someone else, like if it's someone else's vision that I also believe and I also get, I could be that person's how to type person. So
Exactly.
right? I know that sounds like a very political, bureaucratic
No, but
response,
that's
but
that's no, that's very no, because that's why I was saying, do you always have to be a why or a how person? Maybe in a certain situation, there's a why and then there's a how. In another situation, then there might be that switch where you're trying to help someone carry out their why. I don't think anyone is, because I see myself as a visionary person. Hey, Wolfie! One of my favorite people on earth just joined this. He just joined, like, literally one of my favorite people on earth who I love with all my heart, Wolfie. He was one of my
oh,
professors in
welcome,
grad school.
Faith.
Yes, 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 yes. Yeah. So for me, I don't think I think I would describe myself as someone who's visionary, and I also describe myself as someone who can create systems for visions to come to pass. So I don't think it has to be one or the other. That I disagree with him to a certain extent. Maybe if I talk to Simon Sinek, he may be able to explain a little bit more. But just
Right.
going back to look and say, okay, so you have to be the why and have to be the how person, because even if you are the how person, you also need to have your why you're doing. So that part, it kind of yeah, I didn't agree.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Great
Let's
response.
see. Yes. Anything else we need to talk about?
Not for that question. Let me see if we have more. I don't see anything else in
And
the
if people
comments.
have any thoughts, Termin, thank you so much for all the comments you put in there earlier. It gave us things to think about, things to reflect on that we didn't even think of earlier. So short-term goals. Neza, your daughter's taking you away. So there is,
Yes, but I'm
and
here.
okay. So I think I wrote notes about short-term goals in page 166, where he was talking about how you could align your goals, and that's where I think I talked about it earlier, where I said sometimes the goal does not always have to be the most virtuous goal in the world, that you want to save the world, you want to do something very, very noble. Sometimes it's just that you want to make more money. That's your goal. As long as your why is clear to you and you're real and authentic, I think that's fine. That's my take. I think that's fine. Inez, I think we are coming to, it's almost, this segment was short, so I knew it was going to take us
Okay.
about, yeah, I knew it wasn't going to take us too long to go through.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Any
thanks for all
other,
the engagement in the comments. That was interesting, and thank you all.
it was. Hey, Leo, I see you.
So apparently,
Um,
I have a go-to tech person, my sister Busa. Shout out to you.
Hey, Busa, Busa, I saw Busa. I was like, but that's her name here. It's Mercy and Mom. I'm like, okay, so it's
Yeah.
Mercy who's my the baby Mercy. She started reading early. She started attending book clubs even before she could read.
Right?
I really
Yeah.
appreciate you all coming here today. And then next week, oh man, it will be time to say goodbye to this book by next week. We have a
Yeah.
few more pages left. Not just. I'm gonna like take my time with each page and just kind of read it slowly.
Right.
Yes, but
So
the
that
book
would
would,
be chapters 11
yeah,
to
that would be
14.
chapters 11 to 14.
Okay.
But yes, it will be 11 to 14, and
Okay.
then we would save this book for another time. And then
Yeah.
we're doing 10x is easier than 2x after.
Yeah.
Yes.
So come for that one, and that promises to be a very
Oh,
good read. It's been highly recommended. So I'm excited
it,
to read that one too. Although you
yes,
have a
yes.
different host, a different co-host,
I-
right?
I- we'll talk. We'll talk.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes,
Okay. Well,
yes.
thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone who joined this. Yes, thank you so much. We'll be back
Okay.
next Thursday.
Bye.
Bye.